Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be doing some more T6 Abyss. I just keep coming back to T6 Abyss. It's a pretty addictive activity in EVE Online. I think it's pretty satisfying to do it, just being able to do it over and over again. You get that nice ISK over and over again in pretty large numbers. I feel like I'm sometimes a bit of a potato brain when it comes to these kind of activities because they're very similar, but I do like the practice you get from it, where you just practice more and more and you get better and better getting that good time down. But I find it very satisfying to continue through it and grinding that nice ISK. And I'm quite curious, like, what do you guys have as a point of focus of returning to EVE? Like, what is it that makes you think that, oh, I want to get back to do that, I want to get back to do that? Because that's often what the Abyss serves to me. It says, oh, I just want to get back to doing that activity. It feels like, oh, if I just have completely nothing to do, that is often a thing I would want to get back into, because I think it's pretty relaxing, at the same time pretty challenging, and as well very favorable in terms of in-game profitability as well. I know that there are a lot of people who like PvP. Just that's something that gives them the chills, gives them all back to the game. And small gang stuff, I heard, is very popular as well on the EVE Online Reddit. Speaking of EVE Online Reddit, I did get a bit roasted not so long ago. People were asking what was the game you would play if it wasn't EVE Online, and I said New World. And the New World, for you guys who don't know, is a game. It's similar to World of Warcraft. Like, you're kind of a sort of medieval style. It's an MMO, and a lot of people don't like that game. I know for many reasons. They are like that it's not got such a good end game content, and there are quite a few bugs in the game. Me personally, though, I'm very happy with that game. I think it's very satisfying, and the reason why I think it's very satisfying is very satisfying to progress, exactly like we're progressing now with the Abyss. And that's something why I thought about New World right now, because in that game it just feels so nice to just level up, get that coin or get that gold or whatever it is. But I just like that feeling of progression. A lot of people really don't like that game though. So I feel like I might be a little bit unpopular now with saying that a lot of that I like to do these Abyss sides. So a lot of people I've seen on the EVE Online Reddit have said that, oh, it just feels like it's just such a grind fest. And it does get, if you do a lot of them. But I think that, especially at this level, the T6, especially in the Gamma, it keeps me on my toes. It's not like something that I feel like, oh, it's completely not thinking at all. I mean, there are aspects to it that I'm not thinking, or like a little thought. Like right now in this wave, it's a pretty straightforward wave. It's just you go in there, blast these guys to pieces. No real stress on time, and the sleepers right here. None of their HP is being bonused by this Gamma Cloud, and we're also in a minus 70%, so we're just going to make this very quick overall, so very relaxing. But if we say, for example, get Ephialtes, Charybdis, Tyrannos, these kind of very challenging waves in terms of speed, then I really have to concentrate. I really have to make sure I'm doing everything correctly, because there's a lot of stuff on the line here. About, I think it's 5 bill, 6 bill, and the price of my implants are fluctuating, but the ship is very expensive. The implants are very expensive. 5-6 bill, I mean, it's nothing to mess around with. Even though doing this activity here, it'll take about 20 hours, something like that, to grind that back to 15 to 20 hours. So, I mean, you really do not want to lose this stuff right here, because that's just going to put all that time down the drain. So you want to be very sure that you can do these consistently if you're running a lot of ISK with it. And there's different strategies to the Abyss. I mean, many people do use these disposable fits. But I like to go for the more reliable style, where it's just, okay, we're doing it 100% of the time instead of losing maybe 75% of time but coming out on profit. I prefer that style. Feels a bit more reliable for my taste. But definitely when it comes to the Frigate Abyss, there's a lot of disposable style of 75 million disposable style of gameplay, because with this particular filament we got right here, Cataclysmic Dark, you can run triple hawks, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you get so much ISK from that, so you actually can quite if you're good at it, you can get out with a big profit, even if you die 25% of the times. You still will earn some nice ISK. I've tried it, did not end well, because I'm really bad at piloting the hawks, and the multi-boxing stuff is not really my thing. I'm not good at that. Okay, we've got some Triglavians right here. I'm gonna go for these starvers because they are pretty nasty when it comes to their newts. but nothing that our Gila can't handle with the dual cat batteries. Usually this initial Damavic that comes at us like this, I like to focus it because generally speaking, I don't like to attack Damavics first because we've got all these like remote reps. The Vedmax, they have pretty heavier remote reps compared to the Damavics. So if I'm focusing a Vedmac, its own remote rep won't be able to rep itself, and then you're sort of like, you could think of it sort of as we're cancelling out a remote repper, and then also we're going to get full application. The Damavics, we don't get full application, have a lot of heavy reps going on them. So I usually like to go for the Vedmax first, as well as them doing a lot of damage, these Vedmax. But when it comes to like the initial Damavic, like we just saw there, then I actually like to just go for it because it's one starver off very quickly. Because usually when it's approaching us, we can get a very good transversal for our drones to just like almost one-shot it. So application is usually not that good, or it is usually very good. Not bad, it's very good when an initial Damavic is just charging at us. And then it's also not in range of the remote reps of the other people, so we notice that actually you don't get particularly high, or if any kind of remote reps in that initial down. If you could just shot there, we just kill it very quickly, and it's just nice. And that's what I do from time to time. And it is also a strategy you can as well use in certain Frigate Abyss setups as well. Like I remember when doing in the Retribution, sometimes you could have this like lone Damavic with you're kiting with an MWD, you get a lone Damavic. That is pretty deadly because it could have potentially a scrambler. And they can cancel your MWD and make the Vedmax able to kill you. If you're able to take that out initially, it can buy you a lot of potential survivability or hinder a lot of headaches. Okay, shoot a missile here. Oh, getting tracking disrupted, I think. Only one of them, so it's alright. Lock up all these guys right here. I'm just going for these extraction nodes because they're a little bit in the side. It's not really going to waste so much time. Grab this, nice cheeky 8 million ISK. We're already sitting at 150 million ISK. This might be a good one. This might be a big room or big run. Because, I mean, we've still not got the second bioadaptive cache. We've got, furthermore, another bioadaptive cache after this. So we're going to be getting a lot of ISK, potentially. Unless these two next bioadaptive caches are absolute crap. But I think it'll be good, hopefully. Usually the gammas are a bit more consistent than the exotics, so I tend to have a bit more luck with the bioadaptive caches here. I wish there was a way to, or a pretty consistent way, to do T6 Abyss and Frigates. There is in Retribution setups, but I'm really bad at that. There's a Retribution setup, and I've really not found much other ones, because the issue is that there's a lot of high alphas you can have. Like the Charybdis Tyrannus can land 8k Omni damage alpha, and that is a lot of damage, and you can get your whole ship can just get destroyed in one shot. And if you're going with a blink setup, then it's not going to be a good time, because then you're going to lose all that to a little bit of an RNG number with this like wrecking shot of 9k damage. It'll cost you your whole setup just because of that. That's why I think Jackdaws are pretty cool, because they can be a little bit better in terms of EHP and a little bit of survivability in dark sites, but it still is, I think it's quite difficult to do the T6 darks. Okay, move here. I like to do, in terms of co-op, one of my favorite setups is like a dual T4 Jackdaw setup. I think that's a very nice activity to do, because really the incoming DPS is very low in T4s. Plus you get very good ISK because you're going in Jackdaws, and then along with that, you're going with like a setup that is very very tanky overall. You've got the I've got a setup that can have like these remote repair modules, so it just really is powerful when it comes to it's like EHP per second and also total buff HP. You can see a video I've made on that with the YouTuber Zach. It was pretty relaxing, and at the same time, you know, we had to think a little bit as well, because if you're going in a Jackdaw in these kind of sites, you can still get, I mean, you can come into trouble if someone just catches you or something, so you still have to pay a little bit of attention. It's similar to, it's like a similar level, which I like, that I'm doing this T6 Gamma right here. Like, it's not extremely stressful, but I still have to think. And we're quite profitable as well, and that's sort of the level I love to stay at when it comes to these Abyss sites. Challenging, profitable, and not still completely mind-numbingly easy. That's the perfect level for me, because if I really wanted to go easy, oh, we're taking a lot of damage right here. If I really wanted to go easy, I would go for the exotics, but they are not as profitable, and we need to go for these cruisers right here. And I think we lost some drones, did we? No, we didn't lose drones. Okay. We are taking a lot of damage because these cruisers are all online and, or not online, alive. We need to take them out because they're doing tons of damage to us. They also have a pretty high amount of EHP as well, because of the gamma sight as well buffing them. I just didn't realize the DPS was going to be so high. Okay, now we're getting out of range a little bit. I think maybe stop with the overheat. He'll go down very quickly when the shields are down because he's got like no other form of defenses really. Drones, please go on that guy over there. Nice. Took a little bit of these cheap boosters just in case because they're pretty nice in boosting my HP per second. Move a little bit to the side. Lock up the rest of these crews. I underestimated the damage from these guys right here. I think it's to do with that they've got a bit of EM. We've got lowest resistance in the EM department. That's why it becomes a bit like that. Oof, you see that? It just gets shattered as soon as the shield goes. Get that is. Go and go to the buy adaptive cache. And this devoted knight over here. Next in store for our Gila's rabid drones. Oh, we're taking a bit of damage still, even though there's only 3 left. These guys are pretty tough, the Essential Cruisers. Well, we're actually able to tank this, so it's alright. Okay. Popped. Oof, do you see that? Just really wrecking shot that side. 3k damage. Like his structure and his armor went down in all one swift blow. That's pretty nice to see. Yeah, I love this Etheric Radius skin. The one I've got looks just so amazing. They really need to re-release it because I really feel sorry for people who were not there to be able to get this skin. Now it's extremely expensive if you want to get it, and I can imagine in like a few years, or maybe even less than a year, it could maybe be completely out of stock, that everyone's bought up the skins and nobody would be able to get it. And I think that's quite sad. I think most people should be able to get skins whenever they feel like it. I mean, maybe some are more expensive than others, but I don't like it that some you just can't get. I really value aesthetics on my ships. So having stuff completely not possible to get, even with Plex, makes me a bit sad. Okay, and a volley here. Yeah, that was easy. Just needed to take out the cruisers. The majority of the DPS in those cruisers, the reason I often don't go for them is just because they are a little bit far away, and there's a lot of like annoying E-war in some of the frigates sometimes, but there wasn't actually that much bad E-war here, like webs and that kind of stuff, so it was not too bad. And wow, we've got some decent ISK right here. I mean, 207 million ISK, and this Vedmak blueprint is probably worth like maybe a bit of 10 million, 10 million, something like that. It's like 210 million ISK. Dang, ISK is all I can say. And I mean, we've done this in how long? 14 minutes. So, really nice to see. Gila earning the dank ISK. You know, this Gila right here, even though it's very expensive, for me, has earned its worth back multiple times because of just how many sites I farmed. Like yesterday, I was doing another site that I didn't show you guys, but I did a site and I got a similar amount of ISK. Like, it's really crazy, 200 million plus ISK because of really good mutaplasmids we've got. I think that's one of the reasons why we've got good ISK. Yeah, stabilizer mutaplasmid, this is good. Main reason is this right here, cataclysmic electrical, that's really good. And a lot of the like bioadaptive caches we've gone for, or extraction nodes we've gone for. But let's see now, 14 minutes basically. 210 million ISK. Tank ISK. I love being or improving myself in these T6 cameras. And I think that a lot of you guys out there who like the Gila ought to do so too, because it's pretty challenging activity, but it's also paying a lot of rewards, as you can see here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.